বিরতির পর আবার এডুকেশন আওয়ারে আমরা কথা বলছি আমাদের আজকের টপিক দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ড অফ ওয়ার্ক উইক 2020। লাস্ট উইক প্রাইমারি এবং সেকেন্ডারি স্কুলে বিশেষ করে আমরা সেলিব্রেট করেছি ওয়ার্ল্ড অফ ওয়ার্ক, যে দুনিয়ার যে বিভিন্ন প্রফেশন কাজ এই বিষয়গুলো নিয়ে আমাদের ইয়াং জেনারেশন ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশ জেনারেশনকে আমরা সবসময় দেখিতে চাই যে ভেরি ইয়াং এজ থেকে ডিফারেন্ট ক্যারিয়ার, ডিফারেন্ট প্রফেশন, ডিফারেন্ট স্কিলস তারা যেন ডেভেলপ করে ইন দ্য ফিউচার। It is a great aspiration for our students to see what they can do in the future and they can explore the fields they would like to explore. এই ব্যাপারে কথা বলতেছি। আমাদের চারজন অতিথি কথা বলতে নিজস্ব প্রফেশন নিয়ে। There are 4 professionals and we are very proud to have them on the show tonight because these 4 are very successful people in our community and our role model as well. So can I introduce again? On my far right, Dr. Sharmin Shahjahan, Head of Program Women's Health Service. Welcome back. On my right, Ashid Ali, Principal, London Enterprise Academy. On my left, Tasmia Tahia, Civil Servant and also Community Activist. And on my far left, Nabila Rafiq, Solicitor and a jurist. Welcome back. Now, we have been talking about your struggles, stories, and then we started talking about, we talked about your schools now, and also gaps in the community. You mentioned about that, our gaps in the community, different professions. Now, Nabila, if I come to you, would you like to mention any other professions, like something you see in our community that missing? Sharmin mentioned quite a few. Is there anything? I mean, obviously, another field is like always we say women empowerment, and today we are very happy to see 3 professionals, women. They are sitting with us. And we are talking, obviously one man, I mean, it's fine, but you know, we try to sort of do equal opportunity, promote equal opportunities to our program as well. So off you go. Just any gaps do you see?
Being a woman, woman empowerment is a subject which is close to my heart. I think female participation in most of the careers, it's always, it's other than the medical profession sometimes or the nursing profession.
It's female Bangladesh community, isn't it? FTSE 100, I was looking at the other day, FTSE 100.
Exactly.
100 executive. Only 6 or 4 or 5 women.
Then the non-executive positions, the directorial positions, the women participation. It's not a community. It's not a Bangladeshi community matter. It's a general matter. Right. But coming back to the Bangladeshi community, I think what we need to appreciate is because we are female, sometimes we are so much heavily occupied with our personal circumstances.
Right.
It's even if we do graduate, even if we do come to our career, it's very difficult to shine through because we are so heavily occupied and we have got so many forces pulling us apart. So the lack of networking opportunities for female male and female, I think for female it's even more because you are, when you see another female doing well or overcoming a struggle, that's when you get a bit of motivation.
But who create these struggles? I mean, do you think, do our women get enough encouragement from the other part, from male?
They do, but there is there are social expectations. For example, as a mother, I am expected that children will be the forefront of my priority.
Right.
And also, personally, if I think about it, if I don't have an arrangement for my children, even like today, I cannot even come here. So because my partner supported, but not all women are lucky. There are single mothers, there are step families, there are children who are also going through their own troubles, and there are stigmas attached. For example, special needs children. Some women, they did so well in school, they aspired so well to be a lawyer or a doctor, whoever, and then their personal circumstances happened. They ended up having a special needs child. So the entire life, you know, did a 180 flip. So things like that, I think women need to come forward and participate in these networking opportunities, and there should be more networking opportunities for women. I'm part of some of the forums, and actively, whenever I can, I participate. There is BBCCW, the British Bangladeshi Chamber of Women Entrepreneurs. Then through my own legal work, my social work, I think I try to come because if there is one female or one woman who can see me and get a bit of motivation, I think that will be my take. Even if I don't know about her, I think I will be very happy that, or lots of women will be happy that yes, they seeing me, they see that a strength to take that step or to participate or to break out or to speak. So I will highlight if there are discrepancies, if there are lacks, there is a lacking in networking opportunities for women. And I think career forum should highlight that even more for females.
That's very good. Tasbih, I would like to add something to that, and not particularly for women, even any other professions. Do you think our children, our young people, we are not sort of encouraging them to go? I mean, we can...
From my personal experience, so you'd know that I'm involved in a whole load of different organizations. So I'm on the Legacy Youth Board for the Olympic Park. I'm on the now one of the young trustees for Sadler's Wells, which is a dance theatre. And just kind of having that kind of experience, what I've seen is that yes, in the kind of more creative sectors, young people from British Bangladeshi communities are less represented. But I think it's on an upward trend, and I think as parents and families become more encouraging and more open to different career paths, it's going to come up. But it's also about young people taking that step, you know, being brave enough to take that step where do something that other people haven't done. In my own personal life, I always have felt like as one of the first young people, or as one of the first young people of my generation in my wider family, I've always felt that, you know, I have to be the one to open those doors, and I have to be kind of that first person showing other people where you want to
when you started drama, your younger sister, I never knew that she can do. When I watch this program, I was sitting with 200 people. I was amazed to see her acting. I have seen you, but I have never seen her. As you can see, of course you open the door for other people.
I have that experience. When I talk to I talk to my mama, my khalas, all of them, and they ask me, you know, you do all these things, why do you do it? And I say, well, look, I've got all these cousins, I've got all these young people who are all behind me and who all need to see that there is more to life than kind of the fields that you guys have gone into, that I want to open their eyes to even more opportunities. And I think it's going to happen as you guys have all said, you know, as we see more and more people being represented in those positions that we want to see, young people will then feel, yeah, I can do it too. You know, that person looks like me, she speaks like me, she's in that position, so I can do it too.
And when we have role model, people can say, yes, I can be one of them.
Yeah.
Because I remember, you know, when many years ago when I started as a teacher, people never believed that, oh, I had a colleague came from Manchester to Birmingham who said, oh, are you a teacher? I said, yes, I'm a teacher. Oh, I'm talking about 25 years ago. I said, I have never seen a teacher in Birmingham. I haven't met one in primary school. So she came as a teacher to work with. She's a qualified teacher now. So it's like expectation when you see people like, you know, after many years, and now hundreds and hundreds of teachers are working in school. Our students, our people are working. Ashid Ali, if I come to you, sir, we'd like to highlight a few things. We'd like to sort of let our children know. If someone would like to become like, you know, one of the professions, like a principal of another academy, or a teacher like you became, what do they have to do? So someone is watching program tonight, they might say, yeah, I want to be like Ashid Ali one day, running a school, and you know.
That's not a job that I would actually recommend to a lot of people. It is, you know, even if I say I work 18 hours a day, people will not believe me, including weekends.
How many hours did you say?
Probably 18 hours a day.
18 hours a day?
Yeah. A lot of the time you're worried about supporting other people. You know, when you're managing an organization, currently I've got 85 to 90 staff, including several on maternity leave. It's not easy, but it is a very rewarding profession. I never look back. So the minimum requirement in the UK for a teacher is a graduate level employment.
Graduate level, okay.
But even though academies can hire unqualified teachers, I will not hire anybody unless they've got a postgraduate certificate in education. Right. So there are various routes that you can go through. The minimum requirement is graduate. You can go through the national PGCE at university. You apply through UCAS, you do that course. You can go to the school-centered initial teacher training program. There's the Teach First route. There is other apprenticeship type where you go into joining agency where they will put in based on the experience you've had in the classroom. So a lot of teachers will go from being TA to teachers. So that will not take you 12 months. It will be less time. It is, like I said, you know, it's a really important sector because we are the ones who encourage the future generations of professionals into the other professions. So I could speak to children and direct them to people who can get them into the medicine, the law, the accountancy, the business, the enterprise, you know, and so on and so forth. And it's important that we have contacts, or we buy into contacts. So often we will use the education business partnership where they will come in with 300-400 employers and say, look, we could direct your kids into these fields for work experience. It's a service that we buy into, and we do, because it's important that we do that. On a regular basis, I bring in local professionals, surgeons, doctors, business leaders, accountants, to come and speak to my students, so that they can inspire them and say, look, we grew up in this area, we went to local terminal schools, so these jobs are yours, they're not designed for somebody else. And it's important that they see it, because sadly, in the London areas, young people see a quicker way of making money.
Yes.
These people don't sleep well.
Yes.
They don't open the doors with people knock on the doors. I personally want to see 100% employment in our Bangladeshi society.
Absolutely.
Not just the professionals, but into the trades if required. Be an engineer, be an electrician, be a plumber, because we need those trades.
Absolutely.
Rather than sitting at home doing nothing, get into apprenticeship, learn the skills, and make yourself useful.
Excellent. Shamin, if I come to you, same thing I'm going to ask you. If someone wants to become, obviously you are the head of one of the departments and looking after
the program, sir.
Program. So this is like a big managerial post. If someone wants to become one of the heads like your colleague one day, maybe, or that type of, you will retire or you become another senior person, executive or something like this, what do they have to do?
Well, I would say from very young age, I think you mentioned it's, and I did that same. Go get your experience, work experience outside of education.
Right.
Go and do voluntary work. As a youth, you can do a lot of youth service work. When you're studying, if whatever takes your fancy, whichever field it is, arts, media, go and get some voluntary work experience, because they will teach you the soft skills, the communication skills, the people skills, the interpersonal skills. You will develop your personality. You will develop, organizing skills. How do you communicate with a team of people? How do you do teamwork? These are all very important roles. And as you go into in management roles, if you're managing a group of people, there are kind of these roles that, these skills that you develop over a period of time. That's when, if you're exposed to those at a very young age and as you're learning, you develop those. The other thing I want to mention is not just academic. I know successful parents, sometimes the children these days are struggling because they have additional pressure because their parents are successful, they're highly educated, and the children are expected to do as well. But when we were growing up, we didn't have internet, we didn't have iPad, no mobile phones. So there are a lot of other distractions now. So we need to be aware of when we're encouraging and inspiring our children, our next generation. We have to take all of that into context, that they're going through their internal struggles as well, the peer pressure, the other distractions that are happening. So and the gaps you mentioned, there are a lot of marketing careers. There are in the media, journalism, they're in the arts field, but also I would say in the construction. You mentioned something very practical. Not everybody's got to be an academic. You can go into construction. We all need plumbers, we all need electricians. So if somebody has got that kind of mind to the practical side of it, yes, there are education training. You can get formal training and qualified, and it's a noble profession. So I would suggest that just expose your child to different types of profession, and in the careers fair, go to all careers fair. All children should go to those and just learn about different, what's on offer, and expose yourself to do voluntary work, because otherwise you'd never know. Sitting at home, I was going to be destined to be in a lab doing my PhD, and I declined that because I realized soon my forte, my strength is working with people, interacting with people. I cannot be in a lab for 3 years and do my PhD. So I changed. And also the thing that you don't have to have your set career, and you can, if you're exposed to something, you enjoy something, you explore that a bit more to realize what is suitable for you. You have to be practical as well.
Absolutely, and something is achievable.
Yep.
Something,
realistic and achievable.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nabila, same thing to you. Your profession is a solicitor, a legal passer, advocate, and also barrister, and you do other things as well. If someone wants to become a solicitor, what is the route actually? What do they do?
Well, as I said, Basit Bhai, my route to becoming a solicitor was quite a unique one. I became a solicitor as a qualified lawyer of Bangladesh. So I became an advocate first, and then I became a solicitor, and I had to give an exam called the QLTS. But the general way to become a solicitor is to do a course called LPC.
LPC, okay.
Which most people know about. And very uniquely, law is one of those subjects where actually it is very flexible to absorb students or graduates or professionals from non-law backgrounds, because there are foundational courses available, and then you do the foundational courses and then steer forward to give the solicitor exam, or you can do kind of diplomas. If you come from an acting background or a theater background or teaching background, law can absorb. And in fact, the legal opportunities for non-law background lawyers are actually more than traditional legal backgrounds. Because when before I became a solicitor, I really wanted to get pupillage in a UK law firm, in a UK chambers, and I was really looking after pupillages, and I didn't manage it. But through the process, I figured out that they want they give pupillages to students who are actually coming from non-law backgrounds. Right. For example, I had a course mate during bar. He was a biochemist, and he got the pupillage out of 12 of us, 12 of us in our small group. So law can absorb people from non-law backgrounds, and you just have to look for those diplomas or those foundational courses before you steer forward to doing the LPC. And there's the SILEX route as well. This is the most newest way to become a solicitor. You can be a SILEX lawyer, start off as a paralegal, or you haven't done your A-levels, or you haven't actually done the traditional university route. So there are lots of ways to become a solicitor, and it's a regulated profession. We have an ethics code that we have to go by, and a conduct code we have to go by.
Thank you, Nabila. Yeah. Very quickly, civil servant. Just tell me, how did you apply for it, and how did you get it? Very quickly.
Well, personally for me, I applied for the fast stream, which a lot of young people would apply for anyway, which is the entry into civil service, where you apply for the fast stream and then you get placed into different departments. I applied for that. I got through, you do a set of tests. So you do like maths, English tests, you do an assessment center, you do interviews, a lot of different things. But after that, you get placed in different departments. And one of the beauties of this is that you can then, even though you specialize in something, you can then also be trying out different areas, or you can move between different departments within government. So then you have a kind of broad understanding of what's going on, and then you can kind of choose the path you want to go into.
Very good. We have got 2 minutes to go to close the program. Before that, I'll give you just 30 seconds, each of you, to say any kind of good tips, maybe 1 or 2 tips to young people or parents that are watching the program tonight. Shamin, if I start from you, please. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to say to parents, encourage your children, learn children's strengths and weaknesses, explore with the children what they enjoy doing, don't force them into anything, and there are lots of qualifications, in any subjects that children fancy. So look after their physical health, also emotional health.
And mental health,
mental health,
absolutely. Thank you very much. Tahia?
I think I have 2 tips. The first one for young people is don't ever say no to something without trying it first. So when opportunities come your way, or when you see a career and you think, how would it be? Don't just discard it thinking, oh, I want to be something, therefore this is not going to add into my kind of plan. Try everything out, because you never know what is going to stick with you. And the other thing is, be a good person, because when you show that leadership in your personal life, it will get noticed, whether it's in your workplace, whether it's people around you, and you will get opportunities based on the fact that you're a person who's willing to, support others.
Thank you, Nabila.
Thank you, Mrs. Bhai. I think I'll be very short with my advice to young people. Be curious.
Thank you.
And look for opportunities all the time, and be patient with your parents.
Thank you.
Sometimes.
Last tip point. 20 seconds, please.
Aim very high.
Aim very high.
Work very hard, and if you don't reach there, enjoy the journey and be prepared to settle for what you get and continue to work until you get there.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you. প্রিয় দর্শক, আমরা কথা বললাম, আমাদের টপিক ছিল আজকে ওয়ার্ল্ড অফ ওয়ার্ক উইক। বিভিন্ন প্রফেশনাল নিয়ে আমরা কথা বললাম, ওরা অনেক কথা বলে গেল। আপনারা যারা প্যারেন্টস প্রোগ্রামটা ওয়াচ করলেন, উই রিয়েলি ওয়ান্ট ইউ টু, অ্যাজ দে মেনশন, aim high for our children. They can go to different professions. They can do loads of things in their lives, networking, communications, organizations, skills, managerial roles, so many different things they can do in the future. এই প্রত্যাশা আমরা বিদায় নিচ্ছি। আপনারা ভালো থাকবেন, সুন্দর থাকবেন। আসসালামু আলাইকুম, শুভরাত্রি।